Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching me from. My name is Juliet Chiwe, and I am here to talk to us about the chosen ones. The chosen ones. And there are people that God called, for Him to be used to do great things, for Him to, use them to affect lives of people around us. Now, it is one thing to be liked by people and another thing to be marked by God. Some of us are in bondage because we don't know that we are marked by God. You can only travel on a path you know. So, this topic is to help you in your walk with God so that you can become what God says and for you to become active here on earth. So, know that in God's kingdom there is an election of grace. These are people God has separated for his work. Sure, God loves everyone, and every child of God has a purpose. But there are people God marked specifically for a reason. There are people that God marked specifically for a reason. Okay, so everybody has a purpose. Every child of God has a purpose, but there are people that He specifically marked for a reason, and not that others do not matter, no, but there are specific ones that have a specific mark for something different, something great. Okay, so I'm going to give you some of the signs that God marked you for a special mission. I'm going to give you some of the signs for you to know that you are marked for a special mission. Now, number one is Satan will be interested in you. Satan will be interested in you. This is a major sign in the life of every chosen. They experience brutal demonic attacks. Once you see someone, be it a man or a woman, going through attacks, just know that the devil is interested in them. Satan is interested in whatever God is interested in. There is no great chosen man or woman that can escape this. Their lives are always very difficult and full of trials. This is so that they will be distracted. This is so that they will be distracted with their problems, so that they don't get to figure out on time who they really are. So they keep crying and asking why they are going through these trials without knowing that it is because they are marked by God. Once God marks you, heaven will give you attention. Invariably, Satan will give you attention also. So, an example of this is when Jesus was born and the activities in the sky attracted the three wise men, that they followed the star to get to Jesus, which also attracted the king to the extent that he ordered that all children within certain age gaps be killed in order to prevent Jesus from manifesting. There are angels that, as soon as they come down, they signify greatness. So once the demonic beings see these angels, they also know that something great is going on, and that will also attract their attention. So, in order for them to stop the greatness from manifesting, there are stars that signifies greatness, and the demons know that these stars, once they see them, they follow it up. The wise men knew the particular star for greatness. Of course, there were other stars in the sky that particular day, but they know the particular star that signifies greatness, and when they saw it, they followed it. That is how the demons also follow. Once they see a great child, that there's a great star, a great activity, or they see a particular angel that they know that this angel is an angel of greatness, they will know that something is going on, and that will attract them and make them to start following the child, because they know that that particular child is a great child. So once a great person is born, a star appears, which now signifies to the demons, and they start following up that child in order to stop that child from becoming what God has made that child or created that child to be. Now Satan is always looking at the agenda that is bigger than you. It is not about you. He is looking at the agenda that is bigger than you. So you may be thinking, oh, it's about you or about your family, but it is about God and His program and your contribution to that program of God. So you need to stop looking down on yourself and know that you are not ordinary. You are not ordinary. Until you realize who you are, you will be everywhere without knowing who you really are. So, whatever happens in the life of a chosen is a situation for revelation. In the book of Genesis, chapter 50, verse 20, you can go through that in your NIV version. There are people that God called that the enemy knows that by their calling, other lives will be saved. So, your family might take you for granted, even you yourself might take yourself for granted, but Satan takes this so seriously and won't let you walk in that which God called you. So to be marked is to be separated by God. To be marked is to be separated by God. It is to be sealed by God. In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5, God knew you before you were formed. God marked the chosen from their mother's womb. Now, the level of your spiritual warfare tells the confirmation of God's calling. The level of your spiritual warfare tells about the confirmation of God's calling in your life. Satan knows that if he frustrates you, that you won't be able to focus on what God puts in you. He wants you to live in worry so as to distract you from your calling. That is sign number one. Sign number two, when you go through seasons of isolation, when you go through seasons of isolation, it is also called the season of preparation. Isolation is for your revelation. God does not isolate people just for no reason. He does so to elevate them. He does so to elevate them. It is in isolation that God capacitates the chosen. Once you notice that you are isolated, open your spiritual eyes and ears to know why you are there. Isolation can start from betrayal, where people you are so attached to starts dealing with you differently. Don't fight them. Don't fight it because it means you are marked. Don't try to go back to what God has delivered you from. There are people who are very toxic, not just to you, but to your calling also. There are people that will do anything to disrupt your calling. Once God sends them out of your life, please don't go back. In fact, be happy. Isolation can make you think and feel that you are lonely, but you are not lonely because God is right there with you. When people who are supposed to accept you starts to reject you, just know that the hand of God is upon you. Isolation is a must for every chosen. Isolation is a must for every chosen. Now, sign number three, you get your confirmations through dreams. Number three is dreams. You start to get confirmation of who you are through dreams. Most chosen ones are dreamers. Most chosen ones are dreamers. You can see that in Job chapter 33, verse 14 to 15. Job 33, 14 to 15. Dreams are one of the major ways that God used to speak to his people. You start getting confirmation from your dreams because God starts to confirm certain things to you. You start seeing yourself in the dream doing things that maybe you see yourself preaching, you see yourself doing deliverance for people. You start getting confirmations through your dreams. Now, sign number four, confirmation from people. Chosen ones sometimes hear people confirming about their own calling. People start calling you pastor, prophetess, evangelist, other people around you. They do that because based on their encounter and their observation of you, they start calling you what they perceive from their encounter with you, even though you are not ordained a pastor. Based on what they encounter, what they perceived from you, they will start calling you those names. That is how you will know that you are chosen, because people will start calling you some certain names: pastor, bishop, prophetess, prophet, evangelist. They start calling you names based on what they perceive around you. Now, sign number five, unusual encounters. There are some encounters in the life of a chosen, either as an adult or as a baby, that tells of God's calling upon their lives. like encounters during some chosen ones' pregnancies or events that happened before or after their birth that their mothers had. Now, some mothers, they will tell you, oh, when I was pregnant with this child, so thing happened, or so I had this encounter, or there's always an unusual encounter around every chosen one. That is sign number 5. Sign number 6, chosen. The chosen ones are heavily protected and heavily defended. People may plan evil against you. They do all sorts to harm you, but it will not get to you. It will amount to nothing. It will amount to nothing because God protects the chosen not only from what they know, but also from what they do not know. Unusual preservation is what the chosen experience in their life. It is because of the hand of God in their life. Some chosen ones have made mistakes that are supposed to take them out, but God kept them. That is a sign that you are marked by God. What kills and destroys others does not harm them. That is one of the signs that you are chosen. Example of this is Daniel and the 3 Hebrew boys. Now, some chosen ones have made a lot of mistakes that might have, crushed them or taken them out, but it doesn't, it amounts to nothing. People plan evil against them, it amounts to nothing. That is how you will know that you are chosen. Sometimes when the chosen is going through the fire, they do not always see God, but other people around knows that God is with that person because they know that what they are going through should have taken them out, but still they are still here. It is because of the hand of God upon their life. So no matter how you try to bury a chosen, they cannot be buried because they are seeds of God. Um, Example of this is if they knew that killing Jesus will bring about salvation of a lot of souls, a lot of lives, they wouldn't have bothered killing him. They would have left him alive and kept him, there, just so that he doesn't actually become what God wanted him to become. But because they didn't know, they had to kill him, and by killing him, they gave a lot of liberty to people to get a second chance in their lives, so do not conclude your life based on what you are going through. In the Bible, Jesus was scared. He was, because of the trials coming to him, he asked his father if he could take away this cup from him, but he never knew that in 3 days he was going to become the chief in charge. So in 3 days he was now saying, oh, all power has been given to me, but 3 days prior to that, he was asking his father to take away this cup. So what I'm trying to say is that it is only there's always victory at the end of the trial, only for those that endure. So when you endure, you will surely get your victory. If you are chosen, stay. Go through your trials. It's okay. I know it's painful, it's really not nice, but when you endure till the end, eventually you will smile and you will be happy. So, in conclusion, I would encourage you to stay with God, stay with Jesus, because the days are really, really dark, and be among those that God is raising for his kingdom. Don't be left behind. Now, I want to tell the chosen, hear me and hear me now. You are not a mistake, you are not an error. You are marked by God. You are a great weapon in the hands of God. You are the solution that your generation and your family prayed for. You are chosen to walk on a special path, and not everyone is ready to bear seeing you walk that path. Stay true to it, and you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Just be yourself, do your thing. When God called you, he called just you. It was not a conference call, he called just you. So stay on your lane, stay on your path, and follow God. Do what you were called to do, and victory shall surely be yours in the end. Thank you. This is where I'll come to an end. Why not subscribe to my channel? Give me a thumbs up and be the first to watch any video that I put up anytime. So as when you subscribe, you will be the first. You will be among those that get to see my video once I upload it. Thank you so much. Stay true to yourself. If you are chosen, don't look down on yourself. Be very happy to be marked by God. Until next time, take care of yourself. Shalom.